Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Transit. My name is Ahan and I'm so excited that you guys have tuned in today. I hope all of you guys are having an amazing weekend. I tend to like the mornings because I like breakfast food, to be honest. I like eggs, bacon. So let me know what you guys had for breakfast, if it's like a muffin, whatever. Just let me know in the comments. I want you to know that Transit exists to help students discover a faith of their own and a place where you can have fun and invite your friends. Also, if you are brand new, I mean brand spanking new, we want to send you a gift as a thank you for being here. So click the link in the description, fill out some information, and we'll be able to send you some Transit swag. Also, if you enjoy our Sunday videos, I want you to go right now and click the like button, hit the subscribe button, whatever you haven't done already, so you know when our Sunday videos are coming. Because I know you guys want to see them, so just click it so you know when they're coming. Now, on to our first game. So today's game is a classic game of higher or lower. So if you guys don't know how it's played, basically there'll be like a random fact or a random statement on the board. Like this. So the cost to build the Titanic, this is just a practice round, you guys, don't worry. The cost to build the Titanic. So you have to guess whether this statement is higher or lower than 53 million. All right, so I'm gonna go, just for this practice round, I'm gonna say that it is more expensive than 53 million. Honestly, like cruise ships and stuff like this, like the Titanic was humongous, you guys. It was big, and honestly, like a ship like that must cost way more than $53 million. So let us know in the chat for this game, just by, and like an arrow emoji, or like you can just say higher or lower. Just let us know. I'm gonna go with higher for this one. Let's see what it is. Lower, oh my God, 7.5 million. Okay, so we're starting off with a very surprising one. I did not expect it to be so low. Okay then, let us know if you got it right. Next one, let's see it. The budget of the movie Avatar. So if you guys don't know, one of the challenges in the previous Transit videos has been the budget for the Avatar movie, or like what was the highest grossing film of all time. And actually, fun fact, it was relaunched in China, which made it the #1 highest grossing film. 250 million, that sounds about, honestly, if there's an exact button, I would hit exact, because that sounds about right. But I'm gonna go higher on this one, just because the last one was lower. You gotta know what's coming. Let us know again in the chat. I'm gonna go with higher for this one. Lower. Oh, see, I tried tricking it, but I tried guessing what it was, but it didn't work out. 237 million. That's still pretty close. That's still very expensive and a good budget for a film. Let's see the next one now. The net worth of basketball player Shaq. So if you guys don't know, Shaq is actually an NBA player. He played like 20 seasons in the NBA. If you guys know who Shaq is, let us know. He's a pretty cool guy. He's pretty funny. $140 million. Imagine being worth $140 million. If I was worth $140 million, I would definitely first buy like a mansion, or you know what? An infinity pool. Infinity pools sound really cool. But for this one, I'm gonna go with lower, man. There's no way that you can be worth higher than $140 million. I'm gonna go with lower. Let's see what it is. Let us know. Lower, yeah, okay. I knew it. 135 million. Yeah, I mean, it was bound to be. It can't be higher than that. There's no way. 135 million is still a lot, though. It's only 5 million less than 140. But let's see the next one. The most expensive iPhone app is $120. Someone needs to do their research. What iPhone app is worth $120? Is it a game? I know that back in the day, Minecraft was pretty expensive when I had to get it on my iPod Touch. It was like 11 bucks. I like begged my mom to get it, but she wouldn't get it for me. All my friends had it too, so it was pretty sad. But $120 for an iPhone app is pretty insane. I'm gonna be realistic on this one for sure and say that's a lower. Like, there's no way that it's higher than 119. Let's see what it is. Oh, no. It's $220. It's called Water Globe. Look it up. You're telling me I'm paying $220, or people pay $220 for a Water Globe app. So I need to do my research on this. I've gone on the paid apps for iPhone. I've gone on the App Store. I've never seen one for $220. That sounds insane and very ridiculous. Oh my God. Okay, next one. The price of the first car. See, back in the day, I wish Danelle was here. Danelle would know this answer for sure. $532 sounds pretty cheap for sure. Sorry, it sounds pretty cheap for sure. I'm gonna go with lower for this one. Honestly, everything was cheap back then. I wouldn't be surprised if it was lower. My luck's kind of running out right now, but let's see. I'm gonna go with lower for this one. What do you guys say? Higher. Oh, $850. That's still very cheap for a car. I mean, cars nowadays are what, like, I have my G1. I could probably get a car for like $2K. I could afford that for sure. $850. I would definitely go for an $850 car. I don't care what it is. Cars are just amazing. $850 sounds good. Let's see the next one. The hourly rate of the 1963 minimum wage is $1.50. Oh wow, $1.50. That's not that much, but I actually think this is. I think this is a bit like from what I've heard, it was like way less than this for sure. Like I know people who were like, I don't know people, but I heard that like it was way less than this. Like you'd get like 5 cents for like transporting groceries somewhere. Like I don't think it's $1.50. $1.50 is actually like was like worth like quite a bit back then. Hourly rate of the 1963. So yeah, I'm gonna go with lower for this one. Let us know what you guys think. All right, yeah. So let's see what it is. $1. Yeah, see, $1.25. Yeah. I knew it. $1.25. That makes sense. All right, let's see the next one. How many people work for McDonald's? 1 million, higher or lower? This is a tough one. First of all, I don't really like McDonald's, but I know that it's it's not a good place to work at. It's a good like starting job for sure. 1 million employees for McDonald's. I'd say it's more than that because McDonald's is it's globally popular. Like you see it everywhere, man. You see it everywhere. There's probably 1 million McDonald's in the world. So if there's 1 million McDonald's in the world, that means that it's like 1 million times how many people work for one McDonald's. So I'm gonna say this is higher for sure. Let us know what you guys think. I think honestly this is higher than 1 million. Yeah, McDonald's. Let's see what it is. Yeah, see, I wasn't exactly right, but yeah, 1.5 million. That sounds about accurate, But let's get into this next one. It's gonna be our last one for today. Let's get this one right. Total number of pages in the series Harry Potter, 5,000 pages. Okay, I can actually let me do my math really quick. So, actually, let us know if you've read the Harry Potter books first. But let's see. I'm gonna say that this is not as. I don't think it's 5,000 pages. I know the longest book, or actually, it honestly depends on the model because the newer model is less pages than the older model. I think they're basing off the older model. I'm gonna say that it's less though. I don't think it's 5,000 pages, man. That's a bit too much. Let's see what it is. Yeah, it's lower. It's okay. Yeah, 1,000 lower. That makes sense. 4,195. You see, my math was on point. I was getting around to that number. I didn't want to jinx it. I don't know. But anyways, this game was pretty fun. But now we're heading on to our message for this week. This is actually our last week of the big questions. Last week we talked about belonging and that you don't have to try to fit in and that you belong with Jesus. This week is gonna be our last one. I hope you guys enjoy it. But before we head into this message, I'd like to pray. Dear Father God, I hope that you speak to us. You speak to everyone who's watching through this message. I pray that they learn something from it and that they use it in their everyday lives. I hope that they learn, that they get better from this. Amen.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ashley, and before we dive in today, I want to start by asking you a big question. What's your favorite game to play online? Do you like playing games like Roblox, yeah. Minecraft, Stardew, Stardew Valley, or Animal Crossing? Games where you get to create a whole world of your own or create things to be just the way you want them to be. Planting fruit trees, designing your own house, creating pizza shops, chopping firewood, creating fireworks shows, and epic roller coasters. If you play games like these, then you know just how fun that kind of stuff is. It's like you're making your own virtual world. It's like you're making your own little virtual world better, one little thing at a time. It kind of makes me really wish that the world could be like that. I mean, wouldn't it be nice if we could make this world a little better with just one swipe of our finger? For instance, my room in the 6th grade. My room used to be so boring. I had all this little kid stuff and I was growing up. So I decided that I was going to decorate my whole ceiling differently. So I wanted to be able to lay in bed and look up at the ceiling and get inspired. So I went to the library and printed out all these little note cards with like these really cool quotes on them. And that way, every time I looked up, I saw quotes. It made my world a better place. And maybe you could relate, because maybe there's something in your world that you wanted to make better, something you wanted to help change or improve. I think a lot of us do this because it gives us a sense of purpose, and that's exactly what we're talking about today. The big question we're asking today is this: what's the point of me? Okay, maybe you wouldn't say it like that. Maybe it's more like this: why is this meme-loving, Mountain Dew drinking, basketball playing, talking, eating funny, telling jokes, not telling jokes, me here? In other words, what's the purpose of your life right now? Talk about a big question. And maybe this isn't something you think about too often right now, but at some point, you probably will. It's pretty normal to wonder if there's some big grand plan for your life. In fact, I bet you've thought about this in a different way. Maybe a teacher or a parent or some other adult in your life has asked you to think about what you want to be when you grow up. Maybe in kindergarten, that was an easy question to answer. Back then, you just said, an actress, or an athlete, or a doctor, or a teacher. And you said it without much thought. But now that question feels a little more complicated because now you're interested in 1,000 different things. I mean, how are you supposed to know what you want to do and what you want to be as an adult? You're still trying to figure out who you want to be right now. Are you going to do band? Are you going to do orchestra, choir, theater, or sports? And which sports would you play? All of them? Which friend group is the right group? Do you like that person as a friend or more than a friend? It's just so much to think about. Or maybe thinking about your purpose for now or later isn't something you've really considered because you've got bigger things to worry about right now. Maybe this past year has been rough on your family and you're only thinking about what you've got to do to get through today. Taking care of your younger siblings, managing school and homework without any help, or trying to earn money to support your family. Thinking about the future really isn't that high of a priority when there's so much to figure out today. See what I mean? Big questions about big purpose can feel like a lot right now. And when it comes to faith, the questions get even bigger. You might hear people at church say things like, God has a plan for your life, and that feels like a lot of pressure. It sounds like it means you have to be a pastor, or you have to be a youth leader, or move to another country to tell people about God. And what if you aren't sure what you think about this whole God thing? Where do you fit in that big plan and purpose? All these questions about purpose feel big, and maybe they even feel like questions you don't need to worry about right now. But today, I want you to consider that whether or not you realize it, God does have a plan and a purpose for you right now. And what it is might be different than what you think. Today, we're gonna read a little bit of a letter written by a guy named Paul. Paul was a leader in the early church who often wrote letters to believers in other parts of the world. This letter was written to people in a place called Corinth. In this letter, we learn a little bit more about Paul and another guy named Apollos. Now, these two were basically what we would call influencers. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. That's because people actually followed them. Paul and Apollos were leaders who followed God and made a big difference in leading other people to do the same. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes I hear things like this and immediately count myself out. I could never be like Paul and Apollos. I don't know enough about God. I don't have enough followers. I don't even know how to tell anybody anything about what I believe. God's purpose for them couldn't possibly be the same as God's purpose for me. Well, let's take a look at the letter that mentions these guys. After all, who is Apollos? Who is Paul? We are only God's servants through whom you believe the good news. Each of us did the work the Lord gave us. So who were these two? Only God's servants. That was all they had to be for God to use them. They weren't any better or any less than anyone else. They just believed in and followed God. And what did they do after that? Just what this verse tells us. The work the Lord gave them. They didn't try to find a plan or purpose in anything other than what God called them to do. They just did the work that was theirs. Now, what does that mean exactly? Well, let's keep reading to find out. It's not important who does the planting or who does the watering. What's important is that God makes the seed grow. The one who plants and the one who waters work together with the same purpose, and both will be rewarded for their own hard work. For we are both God's workers, and you are God's field. You are God's building. So we have to keep in mind here that during this time that the letter was written, farming and agriculture were a big part of culture. These examples of planting and watering would have made a ton of sense to the people reading it back then. They would have understood the process. Now me, not so much. So let's watch a quick tutorial from one of my students, Asael.
Hey guys, today I'm gonna be showing you the planting process. Okay, so first you're gonna need a pot, some seeds, some water, and a good old bag of soil. So first thing you're gonna do is fill it up with just a little bit of dirt and put one seed, or as many as you want, in there. Pack it down just a little. Next, you want to grab a little more dirt and put that right on top. Pack it down a little more. Lastly, you want to take your water, pour it right on top. Now all you have to do is put in some sunshine and wait. Patience, my friends. That's all.
Both jobs are equally important. Both purposes are important to make the seeds grow. And who actually makes the seed grow? Well, God. God has the most important part in all of this. God makes the seed grow. All we have to do is show up and be willing to serve our unique role and let God do the rest. That's your purpose. To join in God's purpose in the world. To choose every day to be a part of what God is doing in the world. See, you matter more than you think. No matter what your part in what God is doing, you matter. Because by serving in your unique role, you can be a part of what God is doing to make the world better. Right now, today, you can find purpose by participating in God's plan for the world, by being a part of making the world better, simply by being who God created you to be. And maybe it's as simple as being kind to someone today, or doing your best at practice, or helping out your parent at home. Maybe it's doing your best in science class, or inviting someone to church. What you're good at, who you live with, and what you care about. All that stuff is a part of who you are and who God made you to be. It's all stuff that can help you participate in God's plan and purpose. You matter more than you think. Those big questions we have about why we're here and what we're doing in the world, the answers are found in God. God is always in the business of making the world better, and we can be a part of that story every single day. You can be a part of what God is doing to make the world better. That's how much you matter to God. Now, let me be clear about something. Sometimes we hear that word, better, and we think it means we're gonna get everything we want. Like everything is gonna be better for us if we're following our purpose. Unfortunately, that's not what this always means. Following God's purpose doesn't mean better grades, or more followers on TikTok, or better friends, or all of our problems are solved. We're talking about better in a bigger way. God's better means there's a good end to the story of life and the world. We get to be a part of making the world better through our love and actions. So where do we start? You can't jump in to participate in what God is doing if you don't see it. So start by noticing. Look at your schedule. Just look at the day. What classes do you have? What people will you see? What responsibilities are on your shoulders? In all of that, look for what God might be doing to make the world better. See how your teacher chooses not to give you lunch detention when you were talking through class. Notice the way your friends treat you well or your parent shows you love. Be grateful for the practice you have or the homework that you finished up or the meal that you share with your family tonight. Just take time to see what God might be doing in your story today. Then, think about how you can join in on that purpose. You matter so much that God wants you to be part of the bigger story. You can live your life today as a part of God's story in a million different ways. The way you talk to your siblings, the way you treat your teammates, the effort that you put in band practice, the respect you show your step-parents, the invitation that you extend to a new kid in your small group. All of those things and more add up to you doing your part in the story that God is writing for the world. So remember, you matter more than you think. You can be a part of what God is doing to make the world better, and that can start today with your group. Group is a great place, not only to talk about your biggest questions about purpose, but to also help each other figure out better answers and figure out what role you can play in God's story today. I can't wait to hear how you will encourage each other to do just that this week.
Wow, what a great message from Ashley. I really enjoyed how this message gives you a sense of purpose and how God is there for you to give you that unique sense of purpose. Anyways, today's been fun, but the fun doesn't stop yet. If you guys know Transit, you know what's about to come. We have our weekly challenge today. It's gonna be fun. I really like the questions. I really love these questions. Let's see what the question is. What is the hardest rock? Do you guys know your rocks? There's like ruby, sapphire, obsidian. Is that a rock? I think that's a rock. These are just stones, but anyways, DM us, let us know what the answer is. I'm gonna go that the hardest rock in Minecraft is obsidian. So I'm gonna go with obsidian for this one. Let's see what it is. Oh, a diamond. Yeah, a diamond makes sense. A diamond actually makes sense. Anyways, okay. Hope you guys have a great weekend. See you next week for Transit at 10:30. Peace.